We welcome you to the WCC this week. We come to you today from Portland, Oregon. We are at the Chiles Center. It'll be San Diego and the hometown Portland Pilots. And hello again, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins. Once more, my partner, Jaron Collins. And Jaron, what we really have here is two teams coming off a real emotional game. One on the plus side, one on the downside.
Yeah, for Portland, Coach Reveno's team, they had a very emotional win over BYU. Do not want a hangover. You have to be able to protect home court, particularly here in conference play. And then for San Diego, 7 of their last 9 games are at home. They'd like to be able to steal this game on the road and build some momentum towards the end of the season.
Yeah, lost a chance to win a game at Gonzaga. Not an easy thing to do. Let's take a look at the numbers and how these two match up. And the interesting number that jumps out at me, Jaron, is that 79.2. That's a lot higher scoring Portland Pilot team than we've seen recently.
They are getting it done, particularly from the three-point line. In conference play, they're leading the league in three-point shooting, and they're getting it done in the paint as well. Thomas Vandermars, Ryan Nicholas, very effective in scoring and rebounding.
All right, before we move ahead, we've got to look back on that game the other night. Thursday night here, BYU comes to town. This team is down 8 in the second overtime with 2:39 remaining to be played. They come back, win the game. People have said the greatest college game they've ever seen.
Well, look, it went back and forth. Key three-point shots being made by Bobby Sharp, particularly off the bench. 27 points, 8 of 13. He got carried off the court like Rudy.
It's just terrific. It's like watching Hoosiers, really. People came down. They broke the stands, actually, here at the Chiles Center. A terrific win, and you hope that they can ride that wave, or at least they hope that they can ride that wave into today's game against San Diego. As to San Diego, one thing we know, great backcourt, they can shoot it. Johnny D coming off a 26-point effort.
Yeah, 15 of those 26 in the second half, a knockdown shooter. I mean, take a look at his stat line. 26 points, 8 of 10 from the field, 3 of 3 from the three-point line, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. He hasn't missed a free throw since late November. 41 straight free throws made. An excellent player and a knockdown shooter.
Yeah, they want the ball in his hands, no question about it, and they could not get it in his hands at the end of the game the other night. We talk about the smalls for San Diego. Let's talk about the bigs for Portland. Thomas Vandermeer, improved player, one of the most improved players in this conference.
Yeah, Thomas is getting it done down low for Portland. Extremely effective. Take a look at his numbers. A career high, 27 points, 18 rebounds, 10 offensive rebounds, just dominating the paint. And it all starts with his jump hook. Coach Reveno, a former big man at Stanford, my former coach, really worked hard on developing Thomas's jump hook, and that is what's really going for him and inspiring a lot of his confidence right now around the basket.
Yeah, and he really defines the term student-athlete, too. Big guy, of course, improving every year under Reveno. 3.9 GPA, oh, by the way, also. Let's take a look at what's down the road for us. Great game here. We expect today San Diego at Portland. Pacific at San Diego will be down there. Next week, St. Mary's at Pepperdine. That is on February 8th. Then a game I'm looking forward to back up here at the Chiles Center. St. Mary's comes in here. St. Mary's and Santa Clara rivalry has been going on for almost 100 years. And BYU at San Diego will close out our season. And we get a chance right now to welcome in a guy who is absolutely synonymous with the sport of basketball, the coach, Herb Brown. And Herb, it's been a circuitous trip for you. Tell us how you wound up here in Portland and how you're so close to this Portland Pilots
Well,
program.
when I was with the Blazers, I married a woman from Portland. I met her at the airport. Crazy story. But then I lived here. I've been living here since 2001. And then when I got fired in Charlotte, I came back here. I didn't know what to do. And I got tired of actually going shopping, walking my dog, making love to my wife. And I said, I got to get something to do. And I came down to university. I had never met Eric. And I asked him if I could watch practice. And he was so kind and let me watch it. And I've been here ever since. They can't get rid of me.
I don't think they want to get rid of you. You know, you've been around this game for so long, too. Tell me a little bit about how you've seen the college game evolve. I mean, we got some players who come into programs like Portland really knowing how to play, and that wasn't always the case.
Oh, no. I started in the 70s. Oh, actually, in late 60s, I started coaching college basketball. And now the change is monumental. And the rules are crazy. The NCAA rules are crazy. You can only practice 20 hours a week. But there is so much teaching that goes on now. And you're playing twice a week, little time to prepare between games. so that you really have to spend your time the right way. And you have to make the most of every single minute. And the game has really changed. Now they have the shot clock. I wish the shot clock was 24 seconds, just like the NBA and internationally. And even the girls, even the women have a 30-second shot clock. Yeah. But every possession is vital, and it's really a difficult situation.
With your level of experience, you've coached professionally at the highest level. You've coached internationally as well as college. What makes Coach Reveneau such a good college coach?
Because he gets after it every single day, gets to the office early. He meets with his staff. They plan practices the right way. They know what they have to work on. They have a meeting after practice, and then the kids, every minute of that practice is scripted. They do a lot of different things. There's no boredom involved, but there's teaching on every single situation.
I got to ask you one final thing here before we let you get away. If Portland played SMU, who are you rooting for?
What? Tough question. If I'm talking to my brother, and I'm rooting for him. If I'm in one of those situations where we're not talking, I'm rooting for Eric.
Herb, thanks so much for taking the time to be with us.
Thanks,
my
Coach.
Pleasure.
Really
Thanks
appreciate it. He is
guys.
The coach, Herb Brown, very much a fixture here at Portland as well. We got a ball game coming up here too, Portland and San Diego. When we come back on the other side of this commercial break, we'll take you to the studio. There are the guys right there. Oh, who's winning that one? I can't tell. Not Miller, certainly. We're coming back.
Welcome back to the Geico WCC This Week in Los Angeles. I'm Chris McGee alongside the coach, Dave Miller. Kelly Tennant will be joining us in a minute. But first, let's get you to the conference highlights from earlier this week. BYU on the road in Portland. Eric Reveneau and the Pilots have been tough at home. Pick things up with a minute left in the game. Tied at 78. Thomas Vandermar's fighting inside for the rebound. Gets it. Puts it back in. Finished with 27. Pilots up 2. Coach, 30 seconds remaining. Pilots with the ball underneath their own basket.
Well, sometimes right place, right time. The ball gets tipped, goes right to Tyler Hawes for the layup. Game tied at 80.
10 seconds left. Same score. Kevin Bailey. Tough fadeaway. No good. Here come the Cougars the other way. Kyle Collinsworth driving to the rim. Turns it over. We're going to overtime. In OT. Pilots up 2. Coach, what's his name?
Sharpshooter Bobby Sharp. Step back 3, gets the home court roll. Portland up 5.
15 seconds left. Lead is down to 3. Tyler Hawes with a good look for the tie. You bet. He got it. Career high 48. Game tied at 91. We're going to double overtime. In double OT. BYU up 4. Sharp again for 3.
Call 911 McGee. He's on fire.
Cuts the lead to 1. After a pair of free throws, BYU back up 3. Guess who, Coach?
Bobby Sharp, the kid was unconscious for the tie. He had 8 threes on the night. Triple overtime. Here we go, Chris McGee.
After several free throws, Portland up 5. Vandermar's underneath, gets fouled. He's poised, goes to the line, steps up, knocks down both. Pilots up 7. 25 seconds left. BYU down 4. Skylar Hall for three-pointer. No good. Portland gets the rebound. They hang on an instant classic. 114 to 110. They're storming the castle. Pepperdine on the road at St. Mary's. St. Mary's is 4-2 in WCC play. Straight to the second half. St. Mary's up 7. Kelly Carter with the steal. Coast to coast for the jam.
I just like the defensive intensity. You're going to see him right there. He shoots the gap, puts it on the floor. Nothing but rim noise.
Later in the second half, Pepperdine down 6. Madi Udini drives in, gets the bucket in the foul, cuts the lead to 3 after the free throw. Later, coach, where's Waldow?
Well, he's in the post. He kicks it out. Carter nails the three-pointer. St. Mary's goes up 6.
Still in the second half, St. Mary's up 6. Bo Levesque misses. Waldow there for the easy tip in. St. Mary's wins 80-74. David Stockton and Gonzaga hosting University of San Diego. Zags atop the WCC with a 6-1 conference record. First half, Zags up 1. Kyle Dranginis spotting up for 3. That's good. Zags up 4. Moments later, coach, Polish pitbull.
Well, that's got to be Karnowski. He's backing in. He kicks it out to Stockton. Stockton nails the 3. Zags go up 7.
Just before the end of the half, Johnny D with fast hands gets the steal. He's going all the way for the layup. Torero's within 4 at the break.
I just love Johnny D. Knows how to score.
Coach, he's our favorite player ever from San Diego. More Johnny D from downtown. What a shot. Finished with a game high. 26, cuts the lead to 3. Few possessions later, San Diego down just 2. Dennis Kramer working inside, going up strong. Game tied at 55, coach, but a minute and a half remaining. Gonzaga up 1. It's Kevin Pangos.
Well, that's where Pangos, this time, he's going to get all the way to the hoop. What a tough layup. Keeps his chin on the rim. Bulldogs up 3.
Last chance for the Toreros. Down 3. Chris Anderson trying to do it himself. Tough shot. Gonzaga hangs on 59-56. And LMU also beat Pacific in Stockton on Thursday. And here's what the conference standings look like heading into Saturday's games. Gonzaga at 7-1, St. Mary's 5-2, BYU at 5-3, and Portland at 4-4. They are 12-8 overall. And coach, we're going to start right there with the game of the year in Portland as they take down BYU. An instant classic, triple overtime. But we have to start with the losing team. Tyler Haws had one for the ages. 48 points in a losing effort. It just wasn't enough.
It certainly was, but it didn't surprise me. I mean, we're talking about the leading scorer in the WCC, and the more I watch him, the more he reminds me of Pace Mannion. He's got that deep range. He knows how to score. He can put it on the floor. He's crafty. He's got great footwork. This is a guy that moves with a purpose. He'll beat you deep. He'll beat you at the rim. And most importantly, he knows how to get fouled. He's the key to the success of that team. What an epic night.
Listen, when this young man is walking around Portland, they're going to be like, yo, man, there goes Bobby Sharp. This kid was amazing. 8 threes, 27 points off the bench.
Well, watching him play in junior college, I knew one thing, Chris McGee. He could shoot the ball. He prepped at Santa Rosa Junior College. He's got deep range. He's a guy that just needs to get open. He reads screens. His target hands never come below his waist. And he's what you call a gym rat that loves to make shots. This is a kid that will never leave a gym on a miss. He'll stay there all night, but he's going to knock down shots until he hears that net noise.
Add Portland to one of the toughest places to play now in the WCC. They've beaten Gonzaga and BYU. Coming up after the break, we'll bring you the story of San Diego point guard Christopher Anderson and how he uses his short stature to his advantage. The WCC Player of the Week is Sam Dower Jr. of Gonzaga. The senior forward had 46 points and 22 rebounds in the Zags' 2 road wins last week and became the 37th player in school history to reach 1,000 career points. Dower is nearing full strength after suffering a lower back injury in December. He leads Gonzaga in scoring in WCC games. Here's Dower in his last game, dropping 28 points to go with 14 rebounds in the Zags' win at Loyola Marymount last Saturday, just down the road here in Los Angeles. And speaking of most valuable players, let's toss it over to our MVP, Kelly Tennant.
Oh, you always know how to make me feel good, but you shouldn't lie. It's not nice. All right, well, not that I know anything about this, being that I'm an Amazon woman at 6'1", but Christopher Anderson has proven to us all that it's not a tall man's world. Take a look at how this 5'7" junior guard from USD is making his height work for him.
Christopher Anderson was born to play basketball.
That's just what our family does. We all play basketball. So just coming out the womb, basically, like, I was going to play basketball.
His older brother, Jeremy, is 6'2". His younger brother, Nick, is 6'1". Christopher stopped growing at 5'7". But Christopher Anderson was born to play basketball, so he wasn't going to let a height disadvantage stop him. The Andersons played pickup games constantly, and that's where big brother Jeremy taught his little brother not to back down.
I remember going up for a layup, and he just took me out. He just fouled me hard. I fell super hard on the concrete. Got up, and I'm mad, super mad, like, trying to fight him. I can't beat him up, obviously. That just gave me the fight, you know, like, if I can go against my brother and go after him and challenge him, then I could do it against anybody, because, like I said, I looked up to him growing up, and I thought he was the best. I think he just gave me a lot of confidence, because sometimes, obviously, you're so short playing against all these tall guys, you would get down on yourself a little bit, which I did, but he just told me to keep pushing, keep working, and that's what I did.
In high school, Anderson played his way to an Orange County Player of the Year award. But when college coaches started coming around, they had doubts.
They all said the same thing. Oh, you're a great point guard, you know how to lead a team, but you're too short, you know, like, we don't want to take a chance on that. You'll get it posted up, taken advantage of.
San Diego head coach Bill Greer saw something else. He decided Anderson would be a perfect fit for his team and offered him a scholarship.
What I really liked about him was the way he was with his teammates. You know, he was enthusiastic. He was always picking them up. I just felt like he was so positive with his team that was something that we could really benefit from.
He wasn't afraid to take a chance on me, you know. I wanted him to know that he made a great decision, you know, and I think he knows that, and I just keep battling and keep trying to get better for the team, for him, so we can win more games.
When you spend your basketball career looking up at players that are bigger and taller than you, you've got to figure out another way to get around them. And that's exactly what Chris did, and that's how he's been able to have success at the collegiate level.
He's just so talented, so quick, so much ability that, you know, the only thing that held him back was being 5'7", and he hasn't let that hold him back here at all.
I just had to learn how to be more tricky, kind of. Say people are pressuring me. I'm so small that I can sliver through the littlest spots. I can split screens that nobody can really split, you know. So I just try to get as low as possible as well. Like, I'm already low to the ground. If I get even lower, who's going to get that low with me, you know?
Now a junior, Anderson has started all but the first 7 games of his freshman year and has become a standout player in the West Coast Conference, which comes as no surprise to anyone who knows him.
No one questions Chris's ability on this team. He believes he's the best point guard in the league, and we all believe that on our team. We feel like we have the best point guard in the conference.
He's definitely our best leader. This is his team, and he's done a tremendous job with it thus far this season.
I play with a chip on my shoulder because that's just how I am. People underestimate me. I'm so small. That just gave me even more motivation to work even harder to prove people wrong.
With the spotlight on him in San Diego, Anderson now has opportunity to be a role model to those who were also told they weren't tall enough to play.
God made me this short for a reason, you know, to do something special. He gave me these talents to show everybody that you could be this size and you could do something special, you know. And that's why I just tell, there's a lot of little kids, a lot of friends that coach me, like, Chris, how do you do that? Like, I'm so small, too. I'm like, just keep working. I mean, there's no need to give up.
For the WCC this week, I'm Amanda Blackwell.
I love it. All right, you can catch Christopher in the WCC Game of the Week coming up right here at 1 p.m. when San Diego takes on Portland. Plus, there's a full slate of action in the WCC today with LMU at St. Mary's, Santa Clara at San Francisco, BYU at the Kennel in Spokane, and Pepperdine goes to Stockton to face Pacific. All right, Chris, should be a fun day in the WCC, but I know Coach is really fired up for the game of the week.
That is a lock. For sure he is. San Diego and Portland. Thank you so much, Kelly. Give me a couple of key guys.
Well, it's going to start with Portland pounding the basketball inside, and it all starts with their bigs. Thomas Vandemars will start. He's skilled in the post. He's got a jump hook right. He also will read the defense and can go to his jump hook left. He's a guy that will attack the offensive board. You got to block him out, and he's really shown a lot of poise. He'll just survey, and he'll also rim run, so you've got to locate him. And then also you've got to look at Ryan Nicholas. He reminds me of a poor man's Brian Cardinal. Smart, tough, has post moves and counters. He understands the angle game. He also has range to 17, and he's a deceptive driver from the perimeter. I think they're going to have to pound it inside, and if they do, they'll beat San Diego handedly.
It's going to be a great day for basketball. All right, that's it for me, Coach, and Kelly in the studio. We'll get you back to Portland after the break.
We welcome you back to Portland, Oregon. This is the WCC This Week. It's presented by Geico. Our game of the week, San Diego and Portland here at the Chiles Center. Once again, I'm Barry Tompkins alongside Jaron Collins. And Jaron, we've been talking about this all year long, but every week we come to the game of the week, and honestly, every game's a toss-up. It speaks to the balance in the conferences here.
Yeah, absolutely right. Look, on any given day, anybody's capable of beating each other. Portland beat Gonzaga here at home. St. Mary's had a huge win on the road at Pepperdine. Santa Clara beat St. Mary's. Pacific beat Santa Clara. You know what I mean? So at any given night, anybody's capable of coming out with the win.
Yeah, it's almost a cliche, but it's absolute fact in this case. Let's take a look and listen to what the coaches have to say about the balance this year in the West Coast Conference.
You know, as we enter the final weekend of the first round, so to speak, halfway point, I really feel like the league is the best it's been since I've been in the league. You know, 8 years now. There's no one where the wheels have fallen off. You know, there's no one that's really sort of, you know, just struggling. Everyone is really good. Every team is really well coached, good players, and it's just a tough conference. You got to be ready to play.
You know, I've been in it 23 years now. It's as deep and as balanced as I've ever seen it. I think going into this week, everybody was 500 or better on their overall record. And, you know, I think teams are pretty even in these games. So it's a really deep conference. I think it's shown nationally that it's rated very highly. It's just an exceptional conference this year.
All right, that's what the coaches have to say. Let's address our game here today for a moment, Jaron. We talked about the smalls of San Diego, the bigs of Portland. Let's talk about the X factors, the things we're not so sure about in this game.
Well, for Chris Anderson for San Diego, he has to get going on the offensive end. He struggled in his last outing at Gonzaga, only scoring 6 points, 1 of 9 from the floor, 0 of 4 from the three-point line. But coming into this game tonight, this afternoon. He's averaging 10 points and 6 assists, leading the conference as the #1 facilitator in the WCC.
All right, so we talked about what a great performance Portland had the other night. They got a lot of help off their bench. Nobody more than Sharp, who came off the bench with 28 points. He shot, or 27, beg your pardon. And he had 8 3-pointers. And here were some of the big ones against BYU.
Look,
I mean, he was just scintillating.
He was on fire. At the end of the day, these guys know that this kid was hitting 8 3-pointers in the game, and he had guys draped all over him, but yet he was still able to knock down the 3-point shots when his team needed it most.
So a huge game for them. We'll see what they have left in this game. Now, the thing about San Diego, yeah, they are 2-7 in the conference, or 2-6, beg your pardon, in the conference so far. But they have been literally in every game. They've had the lead in every game as much as 8 minutes into the second half.
Look, I mean, their last 3 losses by a total of combined of 9 points. They've got to be able to focus in and lock down and come up with the victory here on the road.
Yeah, it's a great matchup. Good bigs, good smalls. And as a matter of fact, if you take a look at the opposite, the bigs of San Diego and the smalls of Portland, that's not so bad either. We're going to have the opening tip-off coming up. That's a wrap for WCC this week.